Save your chosen feet. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. Save your chosen feet. Cause when you walk with me, you can eat the food you want to eat. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. Great Rod isn't, y'all. Great Rod isn't. Thanks for coming on the walk. I decided to show it, sash it. I'm giving you some real country they call from the continent. Great Rod isn't, y'all. Great Rod isn't. Get your mats. I have a ginger thing. I'm gonna take it out. Get your mats. Jump on your bikes. Get your chair if you're gonna do chair exercises. Get your weights. Oh, how? Oh, this is one of the things I didn't give the ancestors, and my grandmother loved ginger. She loved ginger. Oh, and I forgot to share that with them. You know, the clean people, usually I clean this up and put this away, but yesterday, because, oh, God, let me get a walk. Because I found the musician to help with the song. And I sit in the part of Ron Jackson. You can see him on Facebook. He also has a YouTube page. Ron at Ron Jackson Music. Yeah, so I'm thinking he's just gonna play some music to it, you know, like I did on my garage band. But this man is an ultra professional. I know it was the ancestors, because y'all know, I mean, in the scheme of things, I'm just a little grain of sand on a beach. So, you know what I'm saying? He would be on the beach like one of the big boulders or something. You would know his presence there. Me, I just look like all the other sand, all the other grain of sand that look together and makes a beach. So, I'm talking to him. And he says, yeah, he said, you know, we got to make sure you got your pitch right. I haven't talked music talk since I was with the West Con singers down there in Greenwich. And he got it now, just a little guitar. He was thinking about other things, but in my head, when I put the song together, all I saw was the guitar. That jazz guitar. Now, when I was small, I'd say like 8 or 9, so not so small. We moved on Montauk Avenue in East New York, Brooklyn. And the owner, it was the first time I ever seen an African American owner. I met 2. Our landlord was an African American man. Yes. When we was living in that tenement with the mice jumping out the shoe, no African American. This is the early 60s in New York. I ain't got to tell you who owned it. You know. So, every time we was in the summertime, wintertime too, we would hear this jazz music. And I made friends, you know, kids run up and down the block. And it was my friend's father. Their jazz group used to meet in the basement. He was a jazz guitarist. Muddy Water, Johnny Guitar Watson. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, but there's plenty more. And they would play, and I just remember being mesmerized. And we would dance, and then we would jump around, and they would be rehearsing and rehearsing. So when I was singing the song, I think my mind went back there and snatched the song and basically the guitar. So I'm speaking to Ron, and he's saying, yeah, gotta see what key you're in, I was like, wow. That's why Black history is so important. And it's important for you to know about the Harriet Tubmans and stuff like that, but know about your family. And know about the ones that came before your family. Not just the ones they tell you about. I don't know all their names. Go get remembering slavery. Remember them. Because, come to find out, Ron's daughter lives in the same town that I live in, city. I came all the way west to find something that was right there, but sometimes you don't find it when it's right there. Sometimes you gotta leave to find it. So I'm excited. I was popping around here like you would not believe. Whew. I was gonna ask my daughter to get some carpeting, help with the dogs here and stuff like that, vacuum it. Not the way I've been popping around this house. And the house is not filled with carpeting. It's just the stairs and the bedroom. Nice place. But I've been, I go touch the drawer, metal handle, pop, 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 pop. I go to open the refrigerator, it's metal, pop, 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 pop. I pick up a spoon, pop. So I'll be walking down here like this. Until, of course, I put down my laundry sheets, and I diluted some Downy, and I had to sprinkle like this. So I did good, because when they vacuumed yesterday, no pops. I would get a pop immediately when I put my foot into the room. But no pops. Oh, let me tell you before I forget. Tomorrow when we do our stepping place, I won't be back on again until next week. When I'll be home. And hopefully with the new opening song. Yeah, da da da. Yeah, can we stop for this break? Yes, indeed. I am so excited. Oh, let's talk something about the ancestors. Now, I know I was doing these little songs and opening for the show, so I wouldn't get struck for using other people's stuff that they say you can go ahead and use, but then when you go ahead and use it, you get struck. So, been there, done that, burnt the t-shirt. So, I didn't think, in my head, just talking to ancestors, I'm a singer that really never sung always in choir. When I was small, and we used to do the Supremes and Delaries, I was always the Supreme. I couldn't be Diana Ross because the older kids were already done Diana Ross. And they like bossing us around, so we always had to get our steps, right in the background. Stop and let me alone, you break my heart. That was my role. and I could hold a tune. And when I got accepted with the West Con choral group out of Greenwich, I could hit those notes, I could hear it, I knew how to do the do. And deep down inside, I learned to say to myself, boy, I sure would like to make a record or a song with me. Okay, take that, throw it in the file cabinet, shut it, and take the whole file cabinet and throw it all the way in the back of your mind. And then the ancestors always come and they get that I put in that file cabinet drawer, slammed it, and threw the whole file cabinet in the back. And for me, Black History Month, Kwanzaa, Juneteenth, when I give them homage, I pay them homage, I feel their energy, know they're there with me. I didn't have evil people, okay? I know that was the thing when I was in the cult. That if you didn't pay any homage to people who were dead, you were called the devil. The only person you're supposed to be able to pay homage to is that blonde-haired, blue-eyed person in sandals. That person that held your hand, that gave you a smile, that gave you a laugh, that gave you a hug. Nope. When they dead, when you speak of them, you speak of them kindly, and you make them God. But when you don't do that, they help you a lot. Oh boy, they help you a lot. They like make your dreams come true. Like I didn't think I'd have a song. I'm going to be singing with a guitarist behind me. What? What? Thank you so much. What? Only they know that. That blonde-haired, blue-eyed person only focusing on where I'm going to go when I'm dead. Not what I'm going to do when I'm alive. They focus on me when I'm alive. Making them proud while I'm alive. Loving them while I'm alive. Lifting them up while I'm alive. Your ancestors is the alive group. That other guy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, he is for the dead group. So, I'm glad I'm going with the alive group. Yes, indeed. Oh, what else did I tell you? Now, y'all know have a podcast called Pond Moves First, where I talk about the show I made called Neighbors, where I teach the basics of chess. We teach the basic chess through music, movement, and song. And it's up on my YouTube channel called The Pond Moves First. And it's also on Inspiration Sensation 2016. Here, Vicki Camacho. Vicki Mayfield Camacho. And it's here. It's called The Pond Moves First. So did I tell you the background of it? Because my daughter's still traumatized. It's been 11 years. And before I sense it, I want to bring it up to life and put some voice and stuff behind it. So sometimes I have co-hosts, and the one I did here in Vegas was me, not me, but in the ancestors. The ancestors said, Vicki, you can do it by yourself. I can pull guests in, but I really don't need a co-host. And I was like, I always try to include people and stuff, you know? But then they say, oh, she needs me. Screw her. Yeah, I'll do it, fuck it. So the ancestor said, no, and go look at The Pond Moves First. It's also on my YouTube, and you see I did a good job. I did a really good job. Just me and ancestors and the kids. I have some guests I'm going to invite on, but If they show up, great, and if they don't, great too. I can do it by myself. Yes, indeed. So, for Black History Month, that's why you pull them out. Yeah, the Harriet Tubmans and stuff I learned about when I was a kid, because I didn't know all this. Okay, I can't even go there now. So, I know my ancestors. They're not here, but call their names. See, that's another thing the cults do. You can't call a dead person's name. I love my grandfather. I didn't know him long, but he was a nice man. He was a deacon at the church, always spoke decently and stuff to me, felt very comfortable around him. And after he died, George Days, after he died, my grandmother went away, and she always locked up her room. And we heard the radio on. Everybody got up and said, we never heard that radio on. My grandmother didn't leave it on. A couple of days since she was gone, we'd have been heard it. And my grandmother was there, so we was talking about granddad. We were able to sit down and tell him jokes about granddad and stuff. But honey, my grandmother's two people. She's a cult leader. She's in the cult, and then she's also a totally African American woman. Totally don't take this shit from nobody. But when she came back, her Christian ways, we wasn't able to really laugh and tell stories and talk about my grandfather like we did, because he's dead now. He said, no, he ain't. He ain't never been there for me. He knows. I know, I feel it. Okay, we're going to have to take our little break. And we got today and tomorrow here in the ancestors. And then we'll be back on the East Coast. I learned. So great. So great. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. Save your souls and feet. 'Cause when you walk with me, you can eat the food you want to eat. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. 'Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they cut me up until I'm just a nose. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. Yeah, I said I'm walking, y'all, trying to stay ahead of the sugar cane. If I stop walking, y'all, the cane gonna trip me up. Yeah, come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. Yeah, I say come walk with me. Save your feet and toes. 'Cause if I stop walking, y'all, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose.
1953 was on a plantation in Alabama when she was recorded.
I can remember when the Yankees come through, and they carried my father, but he carried my two sisters and one brother. And the second year, I can remember when my missus used to run in the garden, come the Yankees and tell us if they come, don't tell them where they're at. So don't tell nobody where they're at. So they come, and they all come and don't be scared now and tell them where they live, where they is. I told them no, we told them no. And when they come the next time, I told them I didn't go anywhere, but they was in the woods. And they was at the house. And my father, when my father left, he carried, Vicki, she said, Vicki Yankees, who carried two girls and one son, the oldest one. They lived here, and it's been changed. And I can remember that.
You're listening to Remembering Slavery from Smithsonian Productions.
Wait a minute.
To
Speed that
learn
up.
more, visit our website at
Speed that up.
www.pri.org.
That's music.
Slavery,
That's a
available
slave.
on cassette with a companion book. For more information, call 800-233-4830. This is PRI, Public Radio International.
Okay. I mean, I've seen the strike. I can taste the strike. I can taste the strike. Some can, some can't. My number's too low. I think you gotta have more than like 7 people. Well, I have subscribers,
Tiffy Cummins
200.
intended to keep word of freedom from his slaves. But Tiffy's mother overheard his scheming and risked her life to spread the news. She said,
Risk her life.
Mother was working in the house, and she cooked too. She said she used to hide in the chimney corner and listen to what the white folks said. When freedom was declared, Master wouldn't tell her. But Mother, she heard him telling Mrs. that the slaves was free, but they didn't know it, and he not gonna tell them till he makes another crop or two.
He made another crop or two.
She said she slipped out the chimney corner and cracked her heels together 4 times and shouted,
4 times. Crack heels together 4 times. Wasn't that the Wizard of Oz?
Against Master's will and told all the other slaves, and they quit work.
This is before the Wizard of Oz.
She slipped into a big ravine near the house and had them bring me to her. Master, he come out with his gun and shot at Mother. But she run down the ravine and gets away with me.
Mom didn't even know where to go. She had the field go. Just like he turned some out, you know. They didn't know where to go. That's where he stayed.
Didn't know where to go.
Turns out just like, you know, he turned out camels. I say,
The voice of Lawrence Smart.
and I thought Marsh was dead, but when he had been off to the war and come back. But then I didn't know he went to the war. I just knew it was gone a long time. All the niggas gathered around and snow and all stuff again. You know, that old Marsh didn't tell me it was free.
Ha!
That's why, you know,
Still didn't tell them it was free.
I think now I'm saying to wait for him.
And they gathered around hugging him. He like, I can get 10 crops. I can work it all to death and nothing. And y'all
That's
still
why
put him in the
you
office.
because on the 19th, you know, that's called he said that they give him a big jump on the 19th. But now we didn't know. So I don't know how the other side is folks know free. We didn't know. They just thought, you know, just freedom, you know. Just had a long table. And just had just a little everything you want to eat, you know, and drink, you know. And now they say that was on the 19th. And everything you want to eat, drink.
No, it wasn't no school. And when they started the school, people that were slaves, there couldn't many of them go to school,
Fountain Hughes.
except they had a father and mother. And my father was dead, and my mother was living. But she had 3, 4 other little children. She had to put them all to work to help take care of the others. We didn't have no property, we didn't have no home. We were slaves all our lives. Your mother was slave, your sister was slave. all
Nothing.
was slave.
Working for free and still ain't getting. I'm getting my family's. I'm getting
He
mine.
worked for his former master after his freedom came. He decided to wait until the time was right for him to be independent. James Earl Jones as Robert Gray.
Master told me to catch 2 horses, and we had to go to Dickinson, which was the county seat of Webster County. On the way to Dickinson, he said to me, Bob, did you know you were free and Lincoln has freed you? You are as free as I am. We went to the Freedmen's Bureau and went into the office. A Yankee officer looked me over and asked Lancelot my name and informed me I was free and asked me whether or not I wanted to keep living with Moore. I did not know what to do, so I told him yes. A fixed price of $75 and board was then set as the salary I should receive per year for my work. The Yankee told me to let him know if I was not paid as agreed. I went back home and stayed a year. During the year, I hunted a lot at night. Thoroughly enjoyed being free. I took my freedom by degrees and remained obedient and respectful, but still wondering and thinking of what the future held for me. After I retired at night, I made plan after plan and built air castles as to what I would do. At this time, I formed a great attachment for the white man, Mr. Atlas Chandler, with whom I hunted. He bought my part of the game we caught and favored me in other ways. Mr. Chandler had a friend, Mr. DeWitt Yarborough, who was an adventurer and trader, and half-brother to my ex-master, Mr. Moore, with whom I was staying. He is responsible for me taking myself into my own hands and getting out of feeling I was still under obligations to ask my master and missus when I desired to leave the premises. Mr. Yarborough's son went off to school at a place called Kilch, Kentucky, and he wanted to carry a horse with him and also take along some other animals for trading purposes. He offered me a new pair of pants to make the trip for him, and I accepted the job. I delivered the horse to his son and started for home. On the way back, I ran into Uncle Squire Yarborough, who once belonged to DeWitt Yarborough. He persuaded me to go home with him and go with him to a wedding in Union County, Kentucky. The wedding was 20 miles away, and we walked the entire
Now Kentucky's got so many holes in it. I did it. Who will ever feel to McCoy? Holes are waiting for you.
How he felt about the matter. What would I get when I got home? In my dilemma, I almost forgot I was free. I got home at night, my mind and heart was full, but I was surprised at the way he treated me. He acted kind and asked me if I was going to stay with him next year. I was pleased. I told him yes, and then I lay down and went to sleep. He had a boss man on his plantation then, and the next morning he called me, but I just couldn't wait. I seemed to be in a trance or something. I had recently lost so much sleep. He called me the second time, and still I did not get up. Then he came in and spanked my head. I jumped up and went to work feeding the stock and splitting wood for the day's cooking and fires. I then went in and ate my breakfast. Mr. Moore told me to hitch a team of horses to a wagon and go to a neighbor's 5 miles away for a load of hogs. I refused to do so. They called me into the house and asked me what I was going to do about it. I said I did not know. As I said that, I stepped out of the door and left. I went straight to the county seat and hired to Dr. George Raspy in Webster County for $100 per year.
No. This is a strike for sure. That's a strike for sure.
Work don't share. Cigarette no line. Work don't share. Now you're out of boy, I'm not explaining this to understand. They say the work don't share. I think you said you're both third, I think. You got the third, I think you said what they made after surrender.
Most former slaves became sharecroppers, laborers who received as their year's pay a portion of the crop they produced. Families would also have to buy supplies.
No, they didn't tell Europe that. That they didn't tell Europe. They told Europe we were lazy. They didn't say that they would take the profits and everything when we brought in the harvest. So finally our ancestors said, fuck it, we ain't doing this. Then they went to Europe. They lazy. They ain't working for free. They lazy. They ain't working for free.
If it didn't, you would take all your horses, cows, everything away from you. You know, leave with nothing. You see, that's why they keep them there, you know, that way. Just so they, you know, they could get everything they had. They didn't wait.
They're still doing
They
it.
didn't wait, but some of them just give everything they had up. Going on. You know what I'm saying? They see it is going. Sure enough, they break their stand, you know, another year. Get anything you want, any kind of money. But now you gonna stay there and make you call you probably you wanna cut it, you know. You wanna cut it. Is that this thing?
They used to burn the
To
crop.
the highs. And I had children like this girl here, and she the kind of place she wanted, they let you take it up. But now when the
Sometimes they used to burn the crop. Like they would do as much and they would turn it in, and they say, you ain't going nowhere, you ain't getting no money. Then they burn the whole field. You ain't got no money to go nowhere. All you can do is work for them. Then they say, hey, we'll give you some seeds. We'll let you plow and stuff like that, but you owe me. You pay me for the seeds, you pay me for the... And then when time comes, and if they pull up the whole harvest, it wasn't enough. Because you see, in the interim, they had to go to his store and get food to eat. The staples. And they're still doing it. As long as they're Hatfield employed in legislation, anything, y'all look at the Murdoch. I look at Murdoch because that is politics and law in America. That man ain't going no more to jail than a man on the moon. In the South, if you steal and pay it back, then the deal is done. He has paid back all the money that he has stolen. The deal is done. When they said he killed his wife and kids, so many lawyers went there and was stomping around on the crime scene, getting blood on themselves, moving stuff, doing everything, honey. They knew it was going to be a mistrial. They did everything to make it so. They ain't care who killed a boy and a woman. Hatfields and McCoy, they don't care about none of that. So, he'll be acquitted. All the money is paid back. Hatfield and McCoy justice. Go on, go on, go on. Ergo, American justice. Go, go, go. Hey, like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Tomorrow will be the last day we'll be stepping in place. When I come back up again, I'm going to be on the old treadmill, honey. My treadmill missed me. My treadmill missed me. I miss my treadmill. I miss my treadmill. Like, comment, share. Subscribe. Check out the Pawn Moves First podcast on my YouTube. You can go Pawn Moves First. And there it is. Thanks for coming on the walk. Subscribe. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.